Hi and welcome back to this next video in our series on employment. So your CV's written, cover letter's ready, all you've got to do now is find a job. Here's some great advice to try and help you job seek.
Hi Zsuzsi, how are you?
Hi Colin, I'm good, thank you. Nice to see you again.
So we're going to be chatting about job seeking today, job searching.
We are.
It's a big subject, so we've broken it down a bit. So we'll just get into the questions. So I've not been working for a while, and I'm a person with sight loss, and I decide that I'd like to start looking for a job. Where's my best place to start?
So the best place to start is actually just think through a couple of things. What is important for you, or what would be important for you in terms of when you find paid employment. So one of the I would say mistake that my clients are making, they are very focused on a job title. So they want to find a perfect job. And before we go into this topic, I would just like to say there is no such thing as a perfect job for any of us, regardless whether you have a disability or not. Every job has some things that maybe we, most of it we would be really good at. Some things we never done, it's going to be new to us. So there is no such thing as a perfect job. Therefore, there is no such thing as a perfect job title. So when I have a client, they usually say, what jobs can I apply for? I usually say to them, like, I don't have a clue. I don't know what you can do and can't do. And since the social enterprises, or most of them are gone the last 20 years in the UK, there is no one job that fits for everybody who has a disability. So 20, 30 years ago, if you had a visual impairment, you went and worked in a factory and you were doing whatever you were doing. Now, your disability, because of access to work and the support, shouldn't really define you what type of job you can do. With support, you will be able to do kind of mostly anything that's out there. So the question of what jobs can I apply for is something that I don't really have the answer to, because again, I can have two clients, same conditions, same age. One went to university and has a degree. The other one dropped out of school when they were 16. Their employment prospect would be very different, and their employment prospect isn't defined by their disability.
Yeah.
So to kind of just to give a quick example on what jobs shall I apply for. How many times we all go out to parties? Obviously not these days. Before COVID, we went to parties, and you would have a chat with somebody and say, what do you do for a living? And they come back with this amazing long job title, and you were thinking, okay, that sounds good, but I don't have a clue what that means. And then, they were like, I don't know, an optical something assistant, and they turned out they are a window cleaner. So we have all these really fancy names, and the fact is that what I think a job should be called is not necessarily how the employer is going to advertise them. So an example of that, you decide you want to be an admin person. What would you do? You would look for jobs for admin assistants. But if the employer is advertising it as an office clerk, it is the same job, but it's totally called something different. And your job search wouldn't necessarily reflect that job as an office clerk, because you're searching for admin assistants. So it's a little bit of a minefield. What I would say, and what I say to my clients, if you are very specific in terms of what you want to do, so like you want to be, I don't know, a teacher, then obviously you can search by words like maths teacher or history teacher or whatever. If you are maybe unemployed for a while and you're just going into the job searching, and you're happy to do any job, not even too sure what you want to do, but just anything, then my advice be, don't do your job search regarding the job title.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you need to think about other than the job title, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you're going to be called an admin assistant or whether you're going to be called an office clerk. What you want to think about is all the other things that you can define and refine when you're doing a job search. So number one, sorry if it's a bit loud, my little dog just came in and having some water. I apologize for the noise. So one of the things you need to think about is how far are you willing to travel, even with a taxi from access to work? So what's the point finding your so-called dream job 200 miles away from where you live? There's no point. You need to look at what's around maybe 10 miles where you live. Yeah. You really seriously need to think about your ability to how many hours you can work. So again, what's the point finding the perfect job 200 miles away that's full-time and you only want to do part-time jobs? Yeah. You need to think about your contract type. So if you're heavily relying on benefits now and you're getting all kind of support, then, how much money do you have to earn in order to be better off in work? I have so many clients who applied for jobs that didn't pay them enough and they lost out on benefit, they lost out on their housing allowance and all kind of thing. You really seriously need to sit down and think, okay, this is where I live. I'm happy to travel 10 miles, whether it's bus, access to work, taxi. I am looking for a part-time job because I haven't worked maybe for a while and I just want to make sure it's the right thing for me. And then obviously you need to think about how much money you need to earn. So when you're looking at a job searching site, you can leave the job title blank, but put your postcode in, put in 10 miles, put in part-time, put in minimum £10,000 a year, and various other things that you can, refine in this job site in terms of your searching reference, and then see what jobs locally are available to you. That it could be called, I don't know, anything. It doesn't matter what it's called, but what it matters is obviously is giving you all the other possibilities or all the other options that you are after.
Yeah.
Okay. And the negative side of job searching like this is that you're going to see loads of jobs that are not relevant to you. But the plus side of it, you're going to see every job in your local area that could be relevant to you. And yes, you have to spend some time dismissing jobs, but you're not gonna have an issue just searching for one type of job that maybe you think it should be called something, but the employer calls it something totally different. So when you're job searching, before you sit down and before you spend 2 years thinking about the perfect job and the perfect job title, think about all the other things and the fact what your job called, it doesn't actually matter. It can be called anything, and the options are endless. I mean, I've been doing my job now for 15 years. I worked for 3 companies and I think I already had 9 job titles. So just within the companies, my job titles changed.
It is, yeah.
I have been called just about everything by now. So it doesn't matter what my job title is. It doesn't matter. Is what matters what the job is. And the other thing you can also think about, so this is kind of the average job search that you would do on internet sites. And then obviously please use industry specific. So if you want to work in a charity sector, let's say, but you're not too sure in what capacity, there is obviously websites that are specific for charity jobs and opportunities. But that's one thing you can do. The second thing you can do is obviously look online your local paper. Please don't go and buy papers. Just look online in their job searching site. And then the third thing you can do is actually think through who is in your local area. So do you have a head office just, other side of the town that maybe you would want to work for a company? So job searching can be something you do you do it online, but it can be based on local knowledge, just knowing what's around you. And not the most important, but one of the very crucial part that people dismiss is actually networking, is actually about saying out loud to people, I am looking for a job. If you hear anything, let me know. We do know jobs go to, people who it's not about what you know, it's about who you know still sometimes. So networking is crucial. And then if you are job searching, just think about all the social media things that you can do, like LinkedIn, and set up a profile, make sure it's professional, make sure it's everything there, and that an employer would like to know about you. And having a profile on any platforms isn't enough. You need to maintain it, and you need to be active on that platform. So if you set up sorry, Colin.
I said you did talk about a bit earlier about being relevant, didn't you? And we've mentioned that in another video as well. So is there, I mean, if you've not been employed for a while, you might sort of feel that you're unable to work, but you might have some skills, mightn't you, from an older job or from a hobby or something that you do. So what about transferable skills? Do we need to think about those when we're job searching?
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, I think every skills we have is transferable. You can take it for. So transferable skills is something that obviously you have in terms of something that you can you can use, and it defines you as a person. And transferable kind of just means that you can apply it in any situation. So if you are a good communicator, you can be a very good communicator and a really good friend, but that with your friends or an active listener, maybe you have a group of friends and everybody always comes to you and tells you their problem because you do have that ability to listen and you show empathy and that kind of thing. That's obviously can straight away go into a job where you dealing with the public or providing a service for maybe as part of a charity. So everything we have in terms of what we do is can be used as a skill. It can be used in an employment, a job seeking capacity, and transferable means that you're just using it in different situations.
And I know it would be remiss of me not to mention, I know how passionate you feel about this, and voluntary work fits beautifully into that, doesn't it?
Definitely. I mean, obviously, we talked about it a little bit previously in one of the videos where, if you have any gaps, so you're not too sure if the job is for you, or actually, the job is for you, or the type of job that you maybe would like to do, but you're having difficulties, kind of show it to an employer. Doing voluntary work is absolutely amazing. It can really get you up to speed and make you so relevant to an employer, and it shows motivation, it shows willingness. And then if you have any doubt in terms of your ability and what you're good at, and where maybe if you haven't worked for a while and you're just not really sure what's happening out there in the employment world, and you're not really sure whether your skills could be relevant, then please ask your friends and family. Just simple question: what do you think of me? If you would need to describe me, what would be the top 5 things you would say about me? And people actually sometimes know you better, or feel you better, or understand you better than you understand yourself. And that's also very good advice to get somebody to tell you what they like about you, why they are your friends and your friend, and what do you mean to them, and what they think that you could do for an employer, and why would you be a good employee.
Okay, so we know that the DWP aren't very helpful, or Job Centre Plus aren't very helpful when it comes to job searching. So what do you suggest is the best way to job search?
So I think the best way, and actually I don't think this is my advice to my clients, is to build it into your weekly routine. Pick a day in a week, a couple of hours when you are not busy. Make it as part of your weekly routine, maybe Monday morning, that's what you do, and have some websites that you're going to check. Whether the websites are recruitment sites, in as much as like The Guardian or Charity Jobs or anything industry specific, you can also obviously put down maybe local employers like your local council or your local NHS trust. Have maybe 10 companies or 10 websites to start with. Obviously think about your requirements that you would like to have out from these jobs in terms of location and all the other things we discussed earlier, the salary, and just sit down once a week, couple of hours, and go through these websites. And please don't give up on the website. So if you don't find anything for a month or maybe 6 weeks, that's absolutely fine. They might not going to have the job that you actually after. Just keep looking at them. The more you look at them, the more familiar you're going to get with the website, the quicker it's going to be for you to get through those websites, and please add them as well. Please add to them. So if you go out in town and then you suddenly realize that, oh, there is this company, I forgot about it, you go home, add it to your job searching list, have a look at how they advertise their positions. If you're not too sure, call the company and say, look, I'm a job seeker looking for opportunities. I just realized you are in my local area. Can I just ask you, how do you advertise your vacancies? And they might say, yeah, when we have something is online, or we do it in the local paper. Whatever is their answer, just follow it up and have a list, have a plan, do it once a week, and just do it. And one day it will pay off.
Keep plugging away.
Yes.
I I know between you and I, we've got quite a lot of knowledge of job searching websites and things like that. So if people want any specifics, they can just contact us directly, can't they?
Yeah, of course.
So perfect, brilliant. We know that the Job Centre Plus job searching website isn't the most accessible thing. So there are plenty of others out there. So you and I can point in the right direction.
Of course, it's specific to, I mean, you might don't know what the job title is, obviously, as we discussed earlier, but even just locality. So the sites you look at in England would be totally different. Maybe the South East or East Anglia would be different that you would look at in Manchester. So is the locality plays part in the job searching big time.
Absolutely. So just for, so as we do with these videos, what are your top tips for job seeking?
Think through what you really want out from the job, and be very clear about it in terms of the how far you're willing to travel, how much you need to earn, what hours I would like to work. Be really honest about that to yourself, and get a plan. Get a list together. I mean, I don't mean the list on, pen and paper. It can be stored online, or you can store these links, store the links for your favorite websites under your favorite or your reading list, and then you just can click on it. But have a plan, think through where do you want to look for a job, and then just don't give up. It's not a quick process, hardly ever. But things happen, and people do find employment, even though they blind and partially sighted. So it's not impossible. It's happening all the time. You and I know that. So just keep going. Don't give up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the best piece of advice. Actually, it is. You just have to put the work in, and it will pay off eventually. Well, great, Zsuzsi. That's brilliant. Really good advice there all the way through that video. Obviously, you can people can contact you directly at Support for Sight in Essex. Your information and how to get hold of you is at the end of this video. So we'll speak to you on the next video then, Zsuzsi. Thank you very much.
Colin.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Great. Zsuzsi really came up with the goods there as usual. This video will be alongside our others on our YouTube channel. The Working Age and Young People's Facebook group is also available as always, and if you want any more information about job searching, job seeking, you can get me through the Advice and Information Service on 0300 30 30 111. So we'll catch you on the next video.